Imagine a vine growing deep in the Amazon rainforest, so ancient, so powerful, that indigenous tribes have used it for over 2,000 years to treat conditions that today's pharmaceutical industry still struggles with: arthritis, viral infections, even certain cancers. Now imagine that same vine has been studied in over 300 peer-reviewed scientific papers, and the results are nothing short of extraordinary. Today we're going inside the jungle to uncover one of the most underrated medicinal plants on Earth. And by the end of this video, you're going to want to grow it yourself. This remarkable plant is called cat's claw. Its scientific name is Uncaria tomentosa, and it belongs to the family Rubiaceae, the same botanical family as coffee. The name comes from its most distinctive physical feature: sharp, curved thorns along its stem that look exactly like a cat's claw. These hooks allow the vine to grip and climb surrounding trees, sometimes reaching heights of 30 meters, nearly 100 feet, into the dense Amazonian canopy. Cat's claw is a woody liana, a climbing vine native to the tropical rainforests of South and Central America. It is found primarily in the Amazon basin regions of Peru, Brazil, Colombia, Bolivia, and Ecuador. The bark is rough and grayish-brown, and the leaves are large, oval, and deep green with a glossy surface. The plant produces small, yellowish-white flowers, and when it blooms, it attracts a wide range of insect pollinators. There are actually two species commonly referred to as cat's claw: Uncaria tomentosa and Uncaria guianensis. While both have medicinal uses, Uncaria tomentosa is the one most extensively studied by scientists and the one most used in herbal medicine worldwide. The key medicinal components are found primarily in the inner bark and root of the plant. Inside its bark and roots, researchers have identified a group of compounds called oxindole alkaloids, specifically pentacyclic and tetracyclic oxindole alkaloids. These compounds are structurally unique to this plant and are responsible for most of its documented pharmacological effects. Additionally, the plant contains quinovic acid glycosides, tannins, catechins, beta-sitosterol, and a range of flavonoids and polyphenols that act synergistically. Indigenous peoples of the Amazon, including the Ashaninka people of Peru, who have the longest documented history of using this plant, traditionally prepared cat's claw as a bark decoction, boiling it in water for hours to extract its active compounds. They used it to treat inflammation, digestive disorders, viral infections, and even as support during cancer treatment. This wasn't folk magic, it was pharmacological wisdom passed down through generations, and modern science is now proving them right. Cat's claw doesn't just help humans. Its role in the ecosystem, its farming potential, and its economic value for small-scale growers around the world is a story that has barely been told. Cat's claw is a tropical plant that demands a specific set of conditions to flourish. It thrives in humid, tropical climates with temperatures ranging between 18 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit, to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It does not tolerate frost. Any temperature below 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, for prolonged periods will damage or kill the plant. Rainfall of 1,500 to 3,000 millimeters per year is ideal, which is why the Amazon basin, with its year-round moisture, is its natural home. In terms of soil, cat's claw prefers well-drained, loamy or sandy loam soils rich in organic matter. It grows best in slightly acidic to neutral pH, between 5.5 and 7.0. The plant does not do well in waterlogged or heavily compacted soils. In its natural habitat, it grows along riverbanks and forest edges, where light penetration is higher and soil drainage is excellent. It requires partial to full sunlight, a minimum of 6 hours of direct or bright filtered sun daily. Peru is the world's leading producer and exporter of cat's claw, accounting for the vast majority of the global commercial supply. The Peruvian Amazon, particularly the Ucayali, Madre de Dios, and Loreto regions, produces the highest volumes. Brazil is the second largest source, harvesting wild populations from the Amazon and Cerrado zones. Bolivia, Ecuador, and Colombia also contribute to regional supply. International demand comes primarily from Germany, the United States, Japan, and the United Kingdom. Where cat's claw is sold as a standardized herbal supplement, cat's claw can be propagated from seed or stem cuttings. Seeds germinate in approximately 2 to 4 weeks under warm, humid conditions. In the first 3 to 6 months, the seedling develops its root system and begins producing its characteristic hooked thorns. By months 6 to 12, the vine begins climbing aggressively if given a trellis or support structure. It is a slow-growing plant. Sustainable bark harvest for commercial medicinal use typically begins at 4 to 6 years of age, when the trunk diameter is at least 3 to 5 centimeters. The root, which is also highly medicinal, requires even longer, often 8 to 10 years, before harvesting is ecologically responsible. Ethical harvesters use a method called sustainable bark stripping, removing only portions of bark without cutting the vine, allowing it to regenerate. Commercial cultivation of cat's claw in Peru follows agroforestry models, meaning the vine is grown alongside native trees in managed forest plots rather than monocultures. This mimics its natural habitat and improves both yield and ecological balance. Irrigation is generally minimal in high rainfall zones, but drip irrigation is recommended during dry seasons. Mulching around the base helps retain soil moisture and suppress weeds. The right climate. In USDA hardiness zones 10 and above, covering parts of Florida, Southern California, Hawaii, and coastal subtropical regions worldwide, cat's claw can be grown outdoors year-round. In cooler climates, it can be grown in large containers, minimum 50 liters, and brought indoors during winter. It requires a sturdy climbing structure, regular watering without waterlogging, and organic compost-rich soil. Results take patience, but the payoff is enormous. Cat's claw bark contains a dense profile of bioactive compounds. The primary active constituents, pentacyclic oxindole alkaloids, POAs, such as isopteropodin, pteropodine, isometrophylline, and uncaronF, are the compounds responsible for its immune-modulating and anti-inflammatory effects. Alongside these, the bark contains quinovic acid glycosides with confirmed antiviral properties, polyphenols and catechins with antioxidant activity comparable to green tea, tannins that support gut lining integrity, and beta-cyasterol, a plant sterol shown to reduce LDL cholesterol. The most extensively documented benefit of cat's claw is its anti-inflammatory action. A 2002 randomized controlled trial published in the journal Rheumatology found that patients with rheumatoid arthritis who took cat's claw extract showed a statistically significant reduction in painful and swollen joints compared to placebo. The mechanism involves inhibition of the NF-κB pathway, the same inflammatory signaling pathway targeted by many pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs. Its immune-modulating properties are equally well documented. The POA alkaloids in cat's claw have been shown in multiple in vitro and in vivo studies to stimulate the production of interleukin-1 and interleukin-6, enhancing the body's innate immune response. A study published in Phytomedicine in 2000 demonstrated that cat's claw extract increased the immune response in healthy volunteers, supporting its use during viral infection recovery. Regarding antiviral and anti-tumor potential, quinovic acid glycosides from cat's claw have demonstrated activity against several RNA viruses in laboratory settings. Additionally, a study published in the journal Cancer Letters found that isopteropodin, a POA alkaloid from cat's claw, enhanced the anti-tumor effect of certain immune cells, specifically natural killer, NK, cells and lymphocytes. This is not a cancer cure, but the immunological support mechanism is scientifically real and actively being researched. Cat's claw has also shown meaningful results in studies on osteoarthritis, with a 2001 trial published in the Journal of Rheumatology, reporting pain reduction in knee osteoarthritis patients after 4 weeks of supplementation. It is also used in traditional and integrative medicine for leaky gut syndrome and digestive inflammation, supported by its tannin and catechin content. In veterinary ethnobotany, cat's claw bark preparations have been used in South American communities to support joint health in working animals, particularly cattle and horses used in Andean farming. Several commercial veterinary supplement companies now include cat's claw extract in joint support formulations for dogs. Citing its anti-inflammatory alkaloid profile, formal veterinary clinical trials are limited, but the pharmacological basis is well established. Cat's claw plays a significant ecological role in tropical rainforest ecosystems. As a liana, it creates structural complexity in forest canopies, providing habitat corridors for birds, insects, and small mammals. Its flowers attract native bee species, butterflies, and other pollinators critical to rainforest biodiversity. When cultivated in agroforestry systems, it improves soil structure through deep root activity, reduces erosion on sloped terrain, and supports carbon sequestration by integrating biomass into managed forest landscapes. Sustainable cultivation programs in Peru have been documented by the IUCN as models for bioeconomy development in indigenous territories. In a world where pharmaceutical costs are rising, where chronic inflammation is at epidemic levels, and where we are losing irreplaceable biodiversity every single year, a plant like cat's claw represents something profound, the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science. Growing this vine is not just a hobby, it's a quiet act of ecological and personal responsibility. If you live in a tropical or subtropical climate, you have everything you need to start a cat's claw vine today: a patch of well-drained garden soil, a strong trellis, compost, sunlight, and water. Within 4 to 6 years, which is not as long as it sounds when you think about what you're building, you will have a living pharmacy growing in your yard. One that, managed correctly, will produce harvests for decades. Cat's claw is currently listed as a species of concern by conservation authorities in Peru, not because it is endangered, but because unsustainable wild harvesting is putting pressure on natural populations. Every year, large quantities of wild harvested bark are exported to global supplement manufacturers, often without replanting programs in place. This is why seed preservation and cultivated farming matter so deeply. Saving and banking seeds of Uncaria tomentosa is an act of ecological stewardship. Seeds of cat's claw retain viability for 6 to 12 months under cool, dry storage conditions. If you grow a vine and allow it to fruit, you can collect the small capsule-like seed pods, dry them carefully, and store them in sealed containers. Sharing those seeds with other growers, community gardens, or botanical seed banks multiplies their impact exponentially. The Amazonian tribes who have safeguarded this plant for millennia understood something we're only beginning to relearn. The plants that heal us are worth protecting as fiercely as we protect ourselves. The global herbal supplement market was valued at over $150 billion in 2200 and is projected to grow significantly through 2030, with immune health and anti-inflammatory supplements among the fastest-growing categories. Cat's claw extract commands premium pricing. Dried bark sells for $10 to $30 per kilogram, depending on quality and certification, with standardized extracts reaching much higher values in supplement manufacturing markets. For small-scale farmers in tropical regions, cat's claw offers something rare: a perennial income stream that requires relatively low input after establishment. Agroforestry models in Peru's Ucayali region have shown that cat's claw, integrated with native timber trees and food crops, can generate sustainable income for farming families while restoring degraded forest land. Fair trade and organic certification programs further increase its market value. This is not a get-rich-quick crop, but it is a get-paid-for generations crop. Cat's claw is a plant with over 2,000 years of documented human use, backed by hundreds of peer-reviewed studies confirming its anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and immune-modulating properties. It supports the health of soils, pollinators, and forest ecosystems. It offers genuine economic value to farmers. And it embodies something deeply important: the idea that the natural world, if we protect it, will protect us in return. Every vine you plant is a vote for a different future. One where we look to the forest for answers, where we value ancient knowledge as highly as laboratory research, and where what we grow in our gardens is part of something larger than ourselves. The Amazon didn't give us cat's claw by accident. It gave it to us because it knew we would need it. If you want to see more reality-based deep dives into the plants that are quietly changing health and agriculture around the globe, subscribe and hit the bell. We're just getting started.